Hey friends, it's Dwight. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a great weekend. I wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be doing another pour on a 30 by 40 canvas. I'm going to be doing, a modified version of the dump and swirl. I'm going to be using the colander, and I'll talk about that in just a minute, why I like using the colander. But I'm going to be using colors of blues and greens and some cream. So I have some DecoArt Dazzling Metallics, Ice Blue, and I have Emerald Green, and I have some Folk Art Champagne. And so my goal is to have 5 cups of paint, and I'm gonna have Ice Blue, then I'm gonna have Ice Blue with a little bit of white in it, Emerald Green, and a little bit of white in the Emerald Green, so lighten it up. So I have some variations in the color. Now I'm doing a colander pour because I started doing that a couple of weeks ago, and I'm kind of liking so far how the cells come out, how the movement shows up in the painting. And I'm going to be using a colander again today for my pour. Now, if you're familiar with a dump and swirl technique, I've been doing that for a long time. However, if you haven't heard of MelyD, you should look at her YouTube channel as well. She has, I'll say at least a handful of videos where she started doing the dump and swirl. And we call it the dump and swirl because what she literally did was, lack of a better way of putting it, throw her colors down on top of the canvas. So there was some mixing going on as well. And then she dumped the black on top and then swirled them around. So when I watched her videos, when I was learning fluid painting, gosh, so many years ago, 4.5, 5 years ago, I was really entranced by most of her videos because she was very experimental with using her paints. She tended to use almost entirely DecoArt Americana brand paints, Liquitex pouring medium and water. She didn't use Floetrol in these pours. Now I added Floetrol because you get more use of your paint. You can make more paint out of it, so to speak, when you mix it in. But I also think Floetrol is a little bit of a cell activator. I know people like Australian Floetrol, they think that's, a marvelous cell activator. But to be honest with you, I haven't noticed any difference when I used Australian Floetrol, and I don't think it's worth the money, my humble opinion, to buy it. American Floetrol seems to work well for me, for what I do. Now, I know some people like the Australian Floetrol, I think for blooms and for the other swipes, I think maybe, and some of the other pours that we're doing. Anywho, so yeah, I'm gonna be working on 30 by 40 canvas, so I have a lot of paint to mix up, and we're gonna get started in a little bit. I'm just down here in my living room, getting ready to go upstairs and to mix my paints and get my studio ready. So in a couple of minutes, I'm gonna go up and mix my paints, and then I will go over the colors with you. I'll show you the colors, and I'll do my best to remember to show you the consistencies, because that's the number one question that I get. Last piece of information. I mix my paints all the same, 1 part paint, 2 to 3 parts Floetrol, drizzle of Liquitex pouring medium, and of course, water to thin. You need to have thin paints to do a dump and swirl. So yeah, we're gonna do this in a couple of minutes. We'll see how it goes, fingers crossed. Hold on guys, and we'll get started soon. Okay guys, here we are back in my studio, and these are the paints we're gonna be using today. Have them all laid out. So over here on the right, we are going to start with, that's just a little bit of Artist Loft Soft Body White, just to put between the layers. There's Ice Blue. On the left, I put Soft Body White in that, and on the right, it's just right out of the bottle. So a little bit of a contrast. And then the green, on the left is Emerald Green, right out of the bottle. And then on the right, I did add some Soft Body Artist Loft White as well. And then there's Champagne, which is sort of that cream color, and that's Folk Art. And last but not least, I have my dump paint, and that is Artist Loft Soft Body Black. So I have plenty of paint for my canvas. Let's move in here for just a second, and I can show you the consistency. Let's see if I can get the right angle. Oops, here we go. Yeah, it just goes right in. See how easy that is? Right into the cup. No mounding and no sinking. Okay guys, I'm gonna prep the canvas and we're gonna get started. Here we are, we're back. Mr. Jazz Hands, ready to go. So we're using the colander again today, and I'm gonna start with the cream. I thought the cream would go well with the green, probably make it more green. Start with the dark color on the bottom on this one. I poured all of the green in. Then I added the lighter green. And then I added more of the cream. I think I finished off the cream or the champagne color there. And then I put the white on top of that to put some separation between the green and the blue. So I did the lighter blue. I thought that would be a nicer contrast right off the bat there. And then I ended up with, a little bit left, and ended up with the ice blue, the dark blue. Okie dokie. Since it's almost springtime, at least in some parts of the country, I thought I'd go for a green pour today. Just check the consistency of my dump paint. Slowly pick this up. Try to get as much paint out of the colander onto the canvas. Ta-da! Okay. That's kind of cool looking. Let's add the black paint. And then we will do our swirl. Now I poured that really slow, even though this video was on 2 times faster than the original. But I wanted to make sure I didn't have a huge negative space. Bring it over the corners and then back over the last corner. I had plenty of paint. And I had a little bit of a goober right there, if you can see, almost in the middle. And I don't know where that lump of paint came from, but once I wiped my hands off, I got my tweezers out and to see what I can do to get that up and out. And hopefully what ends up happening is that it fills in and you really don't notice that blemish. And that happens a lot because the cells will grow and they will squeeze out these blemishes sometimes. They'll fill in. There we go. I don't think I got it, but I did the best I could. Okay, so it's starting to fill in. A lot of green. I wasn't quite sure if the blue was even going to show up because I loved the light blue. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you watch the rest of this, and we'll see you at the walkthrough. Hey guys, here I am with the final walkthrough. Wow, this turned out really cool. You can see the dark green through the lighter green, and then the blue is in the periphery. I wish there was a little bit more blue because I'm a lover of blue, but yeah, this is what we have. So there's a little spot over here. It did fill in, so it's not that bad. But if you notice, there was a lump in my paint, and it started to sort of drag and create like what I call the caterpillar effect. But you know, usually it fills in, so I don't worry too much about it. So I just like the look of it. Sorry, it's a sunny day here today. With the you can see the dark green with the blue. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So guys, I've been mixing paints during this because I'm going to do another pour back to back, believe it or not. So hold on. Thanks for watching and thanks for being a part of my journey. And we'll do another colander pour. Okay, guys. Take care.